Okay, everybody. Good evening. It is July 18th, 2021. You're now watching Real Talk with Ronnie live. So I hope you've all had a great week. Yesterday I went to the Mount Carmel Festival in Lyndhurst. It was a great time. We campaigned there with our next governor, Jack Ciattarelli. So it was just great to see families and everybody out going on the rides, eating Zeppelis and fried donuts and a lot of greasy, unhealthy food. But that's always the most delicious, right? So it's good to see that we're getting back to normal, and now we're in campaign mode, right? So today on our show we have someone very, very special. His name is Chief Robert Kugler. Robert Kugler is the longest serving police chief in Bergen County history. He is currently the police chief in Saddlebrook. He has served on the force for over 35 years, 25 of which he has been the chief. His family has been a big influence in Saddlebrook for many, many, many decades, and we're so happy to have him on today. He is currently the 2021 GOP nominee for Bergen County Sheriff. We're also county running mates, right? We're on the same slate, and I'm so happy to have him on our show tonight. So let's bring him on. Hey, Chief, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dr. Ronnie. Thank you very much, first of all, for allowing me to be here on your show. It's a great show. Every week I pay attention to it, and it's getting better and better every week.
Oh, thank you so much, Chief. And I'm sure this week is going to be the best, right? Because I have you on.
Well, let's see your ratings after tonight.
So, Chief Kugler, you have been a staple, or your family has been a staple in Bergen County, especially in Saddlebrook, for many, many decades, right? Can you introduce yourself and your background and your life and your career?
Oh, boy. Well, Ron, first of all, once again, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and to express myself for my campaign for Bergen County Sheriff. I'm a lifelong resident of Saddlebrook. I am a police chief here in this community. I've been a police officer for 36 years, and I've been the police chief for the last 26 years. Pretty much longest serving active police chief here in New Jersey. And I am very comfortable where I am in my career. And at this time, I want to express my desire to the public in Bergen County to be their candidate for the next Bergen County Sheriff.
Okay, great. Sorry, I think I made a mistake before. I said that you were the longest serving chief in Bergen County history, but it's actually in New Jersey history?
Well, it's definitely in Bergen County.
Okay.
New Jersey is a big state right now, so I really can't tell you. But
right.
For sure, I am the longest serving active chief in Bergen County with 26 plus years being chief, and one of the longest serving in the state of New Jersey.
Okay, great. So by all accounts, you've had a good life, right? You've served your township and your state very, very well. You've put in 35 years, right? You could retire if you wanted to, right?
I certainly could, Ron. Police officers, public servants in policing can retire pretty much at 25 years.
Okay.
The pension system gives you 1% more from 25 years up to 30. So you kind of max out at 30. Anybody staying over 30 years is basically supplementing the pensions of those who already retired. So
right.
People that are retired love people like me that stay past the pension.
Right. So you could have been, done 10 years ago and been comfortably resting, in your beach house, or I'm not sure if you have a beach house, but you could have been like down the shore, right? And just sipping on a cocktail and just chilling out. Instead, you've decided to keep pushing forward, to keep serving. And before I continue, I just want to say on behalf of everyone who's watching right now, I want to thank you and your family for your service to Saddlebrook, to Bergen County, and to this entire state, right? I know right now in the U.S., there has been the environment for police officers has been harsh in the past, couple of months, right? But I think by and large, most good American people like, respect, and love you guys. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And I know it's not an easy job. There are some bad apples, right? But for every bad apple, there's like a million great guys. So I just want to say thank you for all your work, really.
Yeah, it's a real passion of mine to be
Right.
involved in service. You know, not only in the policing, my whole life, obviously as a young child, not too active in public service, but my family has been in the funeral business.
Okay.
Of people who lost loved ones. And I grew up in that profession, and my life ambition and goal was to take over and join my family funeral business, which I did. And then shortly thereafter, became a police officer. So I've had a dual role in life, but it has one common denominator, and that is love to work with the general public and love to help them. And
Right.
my experience in the funeral business and helping others in times of grief and bad environments for themselves and their mental state of mind helped me become a police officer. I'm a community minded person, whether it be in the funeral business or in the police business, and especially in the police business, you need to be community oriented. I've been engaged in our community here in Saddlebrook my whole life practically. My father was longtime mayor and council person of this community. He was the first elected Republican mayor back in
Okay.
1999. So I remember those days. I remember helping him pass out the brochures door to door. So this is a small knit community, and I feel that my passion to help with the public is going to catapult me into this county sheriff seat, because when people get to know me and know what I'm all about, they know that I care. And it's very important to have anybody in any position care about what they do. And not only do I care about what I do, I care about the people. And that's what's
Right.
most.
Okay. Speaking of the sheriff's race, now this is going to be like an easy question, but I think it's a question that most people want to know, right? So, why do you want to become sheriff? Like you've had all this experience being a police officer, you've been chief. Why sheriff?
Well, as a longtime police chief here in Bergen County, I feel that I have developed a close networking relationship with all the municipal police chiefs and their agencies and their communities, with the local, county, and state government officials. I've been in this police chief's business for 26 years. I practically know every police chief, pretty much a lot of the elected officials on both sides of the aisle, Republicans
Right.
and whatnot. And I feel that I can network with them, because what's important is that no matter what party you're with, once you get in a position, especially of sheriff, you need to represent each and every one of them, not because they're Democrat, not because they're Republican, because there are people of Bergen County and we serve them. And I feel that my career goal, working with public, caring about the public, is going to put me there. And that's the basic reason why I want to run for sheriff. The sheriff is the largest law enforcement agency here in Bergen County. Nearly 600 sworn officers and civilian employees have to network with all the Superior Court judges, the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, and most importantly, the 70 municipalities, the 68 municipal police departments. It's important to network with each and every one of them and their community, have a community outreach. Each and every person of this county needs to know who the sheriff is. And if you,
Right.
and the sheriff is job right. Once I become sheriff, everybody's going to know who I am, because I'm going to be in their community. I'm going to give them service. We're going to transform the Bergen County Sheriff's Office into a community oriented agency.
Okay, great. Yeah, the issue of law enforcement, right? Not too long ago, it used to be a bipartisan thing, right? Or actually a nonpartisan thing. The issue of safety, of policing our streets should be in the interest of everybody, of every party, right? What are your thoughts on the fact that right now the issue of policing and law enforcement has become this hyper partisan issue? As in the fact that the liberals on the left, they sort of want to they want to defund, right? And the people on the right, they want to preserve it and make it stronger. What are your thoughts on the on politics being inserted into this field?
That's a great question. It's a great thing to bring up, because that's going to be my platform. That there is no politics in the Bergen County Sheriff's Department. There should be no politics in
Right.
any state, because it is so important to the safety of the general citizens, whatever community, whatever county, whatever state. Obviously, we have influences. Every police agency has an influence by their municipal governments, by their government officials, and we need to make sure that whatever they do to disrupt the organization is minimized. And it takes the police chief and the sheriff or the commander, whatever head of what agency we're talking about, to diminish those interruptions and lead an agency politically free, doing the right thing for each and every person.
Okay, great. I think that's a great answer, and I think that's what a lot of people want to hear, right? You know, they don't really care, you know, about all this politics, right? They just want to make sure that their children are safe, that their streets are, you know, nice and well protected, right? So I think the fact that the issue of law enforcement has become this politicized hot button issue has really, you know, driven a lot of people, you know, away from this whole process. Okay, now, Chief, I'm looking at your resume right now, and it's very impressive. Your education, your achievements on the force are stellar and second to none, right? So let me ask you, you were the president, or you still are the president of the Bergen County Chiefs Association, right? Can you tell me more about that and about your, you know, other, you know, your accomplishments while being a, you know, police chief?
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, well, you know, at age 33, I was one of the youngest to ever be appointed to be a police chief. So I knew at that point that I was going to be here a long time. At age 33, I knew I was probably going to be the police chief at age 60. So
Right.
here, right before my age of 60, and I knew that I needed to engage. And that makes a better person in any profession, to engage in your profession. So right away, I got entrenched with my Police Chiefs Association, both on a county and state level. I was honored to be chosen amongst my colleague police chiefs, not only here in Bergen County, to be the president of the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association, but then 2 years later to be the president of the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association. It's a 1 or 2 year term, so you don't stay chief or president of that organization for many years, but
Right.
that came and left. So I've been a past president of both the Bergen County and the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police. Some career achievements that I'm very happy and dignified for is I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy, 107.
Okay, wow.
I was very honored to be and a privilege to get accepted into that program because very limited amount of law enforcement officers. It's an international program where you spend 3 months down in Virginia at the
Quantico, right?
training ground there on the Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. And you basically go through a class of about 250 law enforcement executives from not only the United States, but internationally. And that was one of my highlights of my career, is being honored to attend the FBI National Academy. My formal education is I have a master's degree in public administration or nonprofit, and I have a bachelor's of business administration degree. So I have the for-profit and the not-for-profit degrees, but my forte in life is working with the general public and running a government organization like a law enforcement agency. And that's what I want to do. I want to stay and utilize those years of experience, those years of leadership to help not only the professional men and women that deserve to have a great leader, but also the nearly 1 million people here in Bergen County
Right.
who have a sheriff's department, sheriff's agency, sheriff's officers serving them each and every day.
Okay. So what are some of the responsibilities of being a sheriff? And to follow up on that question, what are some of the issues that face a sheriff's office?
Okay. First of all, the sheriff's responsibilities are found in the New Jersey State Constitution.
Okay.
Mission or responsibilities of the sheriff is to maintain security of the Bergen County Justice Center or courthouse, administration of the county jail, patrolling and security of county parks and county buildings and county roadways, county facilities, prisoner transport. Any prisoner that needs to be transported from the county facility or other correctional facilities in the state to and from court, they're responsible for that as well. Obviously, they have canine bomb detection capabilities. They also are responsible for sudden death inquiries and investigations, not homicides. Homicides, strictly priority would be the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office,
Right.
but one is found deceased in the home of natural causes. The Bergen County Sheriff's offices are the one who go there and do the basic inquiry and investigation. We have to network with all our other partners in law enforcement, whether it be local, other county or state, even federal law enforcement agencies, so they do that as well. Disposition of seized properties, foreclosures on homes. There's a lot of obligations that the sheriff's office oversees and administers. And luckily for the county, there is a large agency like Bergen County Sheriff's Office to pull together all these professional young men and women to help do the job, to satisfy the safety and concerns of all the citizens of our great county.
Okay. I know that not too long ago, there used to be a Bergen County police force, right? And then there was also a sheriff's office, and then those two offices were actually merged, right? Was that a good thing, or?
I think at the end of the day, it was a good thing. I think it needed to happen, that everybody was put together. There was very limited county police agencies in the state, so it was more efficient to have them part of the sheriff's department as one. And that's what the goal was, to become one. But I think the way it happened, the way and manner it happened, it wasn't done so efficiently, or it wasn't done with a lot of goodwill. So there was some conflict and turmoil there, and that turmoil lasted for a long time, and maybe some exist today. I know we're on the road to recovery, but that was an issue for some time. I know when I ran for sheriff last time, it was an issue that was going to be addressed. And certainly we need to improve relationships, because everything in life is a great relationship. If you don't have a great, you don't have a good agency. So I understand that we need to improve our networking abilities within, and that creates a better agency to serve the general public.
Okay. Speaking about your run last time, so I know you ran for sheriff, I believe it was 3 years ago, right? Can you tell me, or can you tell us why you ran back then? And what are your experiences or the takeaway points that you've taken away from that last run?
Well, like I said in the beginning of the show, Dr. Ron, I've been a longtime police chief, and one of my ambitions or thoughts was to serve a larger population. And if I do, and when I do become sheriff of Bergen County, Saddle Brook's part of that population, so I'm not abandoning my real hometown community that I love, and that's the township of Saddle Brook. So Saddle Brook would be part of it. But 3 years ago, as maybe some of you know, there was an abrupt resignation or retirement of the sitting sheriff.
Right.
This was approximately 40 days before a general election. And it's important to note that those 40 days, or that general election, there wasn't a sheriff's election even going to be held in 40 days. But because of the abrupt resignation of the sheriff, the state of New Jersey moved towards having a general election for sheriff, which at front I wanted, but at the same time I opposed the election, because New Jersey state law would have given the governor at the time the opportunity, in which he should have done, to appoint an interim sheriff for the 1 year duration, and then have a general election when you're supposed to have a general election for sheriff. Because let me tell you what happened in 40 days. As a matter of fact, back then, the Attorney General did agree with me. It's one time that he really did agree. But in 40 days, how can the Republican side, the Democrat side, vet a person that they're going to choose to be their candidate, then put them up in front of the county committee for a vote, then put them in a primary for the general citizens or someone else to say, maybe I want to do that as well, and then let the general public know who you are for the next 4 or 5 months? That's a general election. That's what we're doing now.
Right.
To fit that into 40 days. As a matter of fact, there was a bipartisan coalition of all of our senators here in Bergen County, including Senator Salo, Senator Deli Poo, Senator Weinberg, Lagana, Cardinale, God rest his soul. All those senators penned a letter to the Secretary of State saying, listen, there's not enough time. Do what you have to do. Let's postpone this election, have an interim sheriff appointment, and do it the right way. But obviously, politics are what they are. And, you know, the state's in charge, right? So the state can do what they want. I actually brought them to court. I spent a lot of money to try and stop the election and say do it the right way. But obviously, I lost, and I lost because I gave up. You know, how can you sue the state of New Jersey paying money when in fact they got the lawyers and they were just looking to take my campaign money away? So now for this term,
right?
That election should have never happened. It was a rushed election. And obviously, I ran as an independent and got slaughtered because the bottom line, and this have to stop.
How many votes did you get that time around?
Not too many.
Not too many.
About 14,000. But this,
I mean, 14,000 is still a very good showing for pretty much campaigning for 40 days, right?
A lot of people shook their head and they were a little concerned about what's happening now because, you know, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we have to get everybody to review, evaluate political candidates for office and not just vote your party. Because too many times, oftentimes, and especially in serious and very, not saying any other political positions aren't important, but the Bergen County Sheriff is an important role, is an important person, and it shouldn't be voted because he's a Republican or a Democrat. People should look and evaluate their candidates and choose the one they think is best qualified and suited for that position. And I am confident that if people do that, I believe a majority, over 50%, should choose me. We just got to get the general public to move towards that evaluation.
Right. Speaking of the general public, though, so what are some of your campaign tactics or, you know, your plans going forward in the campaigning, season to try to attract 50% plus of the people to come towards you and to vote you as the next sheriff?
Well, thank you, Ron. The first and foremost and easiest way is to just be myself.
Right.
Get to know me, and they're going to know that I'm a regular guy with a long time history of law enforcement and a long time service in community oriented government. And they're going to know that I'm going to care about what I do, and I'm going to do the right thing, not only for the men and women within the organization, but for the 1 million people of Bergen County. But first thing that I know I will do is, and it isn't there today, but we're going to improve it. And that is, I'm going to implement a comprehensive service-oriented agency. And what that basically means is that from the sheriff all the way down to the rookie officer appointed to that agency will be community-oriented, respect the public. Not to say that we don't respect the public now, but each and every one will make sure that they serve the public in professional, upright ways and make sure no biases are anywhere near in their thought processes, and they have to serve the public. That's their number one mission. So that's important. That's one of those goals that would definitely be implemented. Second one is to develop a comprehensive community policing program, an engagement program, a community outreach program, where we have to touch the 70 municipal communities of our great county. You know, there's 70 towns out there.
Right,
now, again, beginning, there's only 68 municipal agencies because 2 of them, Rockley, Peterborough, don't have their own police department. But every one of those communities, every one of those mayors, every one of those police chiefs, civic organizations, whatever they are, should know that the Bergen County Sheriff's Office wants to help them. We need to be a part of their community. We need to supplement them. We need to be a resource for them. Now, what's critical here in this phase, in this community engagement or this outreach program, is the LEAD program, and that's law enforcement against drugs. As you know,
I believe that you were actually down in AC a couple of weeks ago for that LEAD conference, right?
Yes, I was down in Atlantic City for our annual training conference, but I'm the chairman of the National Program Law Enforcement Against Drugs, or LEAD. And what that basically is a police officer in the classroom, in the school, teaching young students, fifth grade, sixth grade, or anywhere from K to 12, the dangers about drug abuse and violence and bullying. That is a program that's implemented not only here in Bergen County, across New Jersey, but across the United States. We're in over 30 states here in the United States, and our goal is to increase each and every year and get every state. We're also doing international trainings as well.
Right.
We're not looking to come in as a county sheriff's agency or as a lead organization. We're not looking to come in and take over a program or do a program or develop the program. We want to help that municipality. So if it's a municipality that has not enough police officers to engage the program, we're going to supply the necessary resources, the training, officers supplementing the program if we need to, because that's important. Everybody should agree with that. Every community needs drug prevention and education, especially now with the proliferation and, in New Jersey, legalization of marijuana.
Right. Yeah. I was I was going to ask you about that. So right now in New Jersey, and actually in a lot of states, right, the marijuana use is pretty much legalized, right? And I know here in Bergen County, there's a lot of talks of putting the marijuana stores or the the distilleries in certain towns, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts about that?
Every town makes their own decision because local governments control their own destiny there in their community.
Right.
Not to get too much into should we or should we not have drug distribution points in our communities, regardless whether it is or not. You can go to the next town. You can go to Patterson, wherever it's going to be. Your young child, your young person or older person can go get it. So what we need to do is concentrate on education. It's important to know just who can get alcohol underage given to you by an older brother or sister or somehow
Right.
get that. You're going to also now be easier to obtain marijuana. And
Right.
marijuana, alcohol is a gateway drug, and it leads to worse behaviors. And we need to teach our children the dangers. We need to build community safeguards. We need to make sure not only every student, but every community has those building blocks to say, listen, it's unlawful under 21. You shouldn't possess it. It gives you health problems. When you become 21, you do what you got to do. But I believe that people who are drug-free, violence-free, bullying-free up till age 21 are going to remain practically their entire life that way.
Right. Sorry, the term was a dispensary, right? Yeah. So these dispensaries are, being debated on whether they should be in Bergen County, right? Are there currently any dispensaries in Bergen County?
There's none that are open. There's probably
Okay.
these that have either voiced their opinions that they should be or shouldn't be in their jurisdiction. But let me give you, for instance, 2 years ago, we went out on a training mission in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas just legalized it when we got there. And when we were in Las Vegas, walking the strip, sure enough, here's the store. You walk right in. All you got to do is show your driver's license that you're 21 years of age or older. You get to go inside. You see all these specimens of marijuana. You can practically buy whatever you want to buy out of there. Not only that, edibles. They had candy. They had
Right. Like brownies too, right?
don't even know, if it's got drugs, if they bring it into schools or bring it home. So it's a very, very critical time we're in right now. We're getting, more and more liberal and free living. And I think we need to just safeguard the safety of our communities. And the only way to do that is to make great decisions and have great leaders in spots that are going to help the community maintain their safety and security.
Right. Like you mentioned before, and I know, when I was growing up, when I was in grade school and in middle school, marijuana back then was considered a gateway drug. And I think you mentioned that it kind of still is, right? Yeah. So under the LEAD program, right, that you're chairman of, right?
Right.
Is marijuana still considered a gateway drug through that program?
It is.
Yeah.
And not only do we talk about marijuana and the dangers of that gateway that lead you to deeper drugs, but also about the opioids, also about the heroin, because that's what happens. That's where you go to. You'll go from marijuana, cocaine, to heroin, to pills, and into worse behaviors. And, you know, not only in the law enforcement environments, but like we said in the beginning of the show, my family runs a funeral home, and
Right. Yeah.
we
So I was going to say, I mean, you must actually firsthand see some of the devastating, the results from the, opioid crisis, right? I mean, you see you see the bodies like come in, right?
the worst funerals we have are young people that have organs and just beautiful people under 20 or some young age, unfortunately overdosing because it only takes a salt flake
Right.
of fentanyl laced in the heroin or somehow in the drug that you obtain from a stranger you don't even know, and it could lead to an overdose. So, I feel sorry for these individuals now. Not only drug education and prevention, but rehabilitation. I believe in that as well. And as a sheriff and as a law enforcement head of the largest agency in this county, we should be able to work with our partners and support groups, our rehabilitation centers, to make sure that those that get involved with drugs and overdose or somehow need help get that help without the stigma that, you're a drug runner, we're going to put you in jail. That doesn't work today. You got to rehab
Right.
and give them the right, to live a drug-free life.
Okay. So, I mean, you've been on the force for over 35 years. So, I mean, what is the toughest part about being a police officer?
Today, it's a tough time, Dr. Ron. You mentioned earlier in the show about some of the way out things that are happening. Defund the police movement. Just the violence that happens, the lack of respect given to police officers, people jumping on police cars and just making police officers look like they're not helping the community, and that's just not accurate. Luckily, but
Right.
hasn't shown its rear head. But recently, down in a shore community, not too long ago, there was a little environment just like you would see on TV in Portland, Seattle, and New York City, where you had the street crowd, mob crowd, all of a sudden jumping on police cars, creating violence for police officers. It's dangerous, but the police chiefs run good agencies here in Bergen County and across our state. I'm very happy for my friendship and networking ability with all our partners here in Bergen County. And I know that every town works together, not only for themselves, but for their community partners, their neighbors. And as a sitting sheriff, I will know that I will network with each and every one of those police agencies, their municipal governments, and their communities to make sure we're all in this together and be safe and have a great Bergen County, and even greater Bergen County.
Okay. What do you say to the people, right, that might, that might be skeptical towards, law enforcement, right? What do you say to them to, to assure them that you're a sheriff for all people, that you're going to be a sheriff for, both parties, for every single person, and that, law enforcement are actually the good guys? Like, what is your message to those people who may be hesitant to come aboard a, law enforcement campaign?
I know, yeah. You know what? I started my campaign some time ago. It was actually last year, late last year, and again, my pretty much the last few years of my Shadowbrook police chief career was gearing towards this day. So I'm ready to go, and my message is quite clear. Um, I want to work together with each and every one of our county. That doesn't matter if you're a police officer, if you're a citizen, if you're a municipal or county or state government official. I want to work with you. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, Tea Party, whatever party you want to belong to. I don't care. That's your right to do that. But as a sitting sheriff, I need to work with everybody. I'm not going to get slighted because this party doesn't want to work with me, or this person's of a different color or creed or religion. That's not me. I've been a community engager for quite some time. And, it's easy for me to talk about myself, right? But really, I want people to explore, talk to others, look up my resume, look up my website. Give me an email, give me a text, give me a call. I have a Kugler 4, the number 4, Kugler 4
Right.
sheriff at Gmail account.
Yeah. This is your website right here, right? Kuglerforsheriff.com.
Yes, anybody can look me up, find a little bit about myself on the website, send me an email, have dialogue with me. Facebook, I just put out a commercial. I got a 60-second commercial with some pictures. Pretty much, I'm going to have a video commercial coming out. So I want people to know who I am, because that's important. We talked in the show about the evaluation of candidates. We have people just coming down the line because they're Democrat or Republican. You have to stop that, folks. You need to evaluate. And my position as sheriff, I take it very important. Yours, Dr. Ronnie, as the county commissioner, just as important. And all those positions, from the governor down to school boards, are very important. And people should do their research and evaluate and talk to people, ask them questions. I want people to ask me questions, because just like we're coming on this show, opening up ourselves to who we are and what we're all about, and saying, hey, we want to help the community. We want to help the general public. That's why we're putting ourselves in these positions.
Yeah.
That I could have retired a long time ago, but I don't want to. I want to serve. And the only time that I'm going to lay my head down to rest is either when I'm sleeping, or if the good Lord says you got to go.
But that won't be for a long time. So don't worry. So this is an interesting fact. The Korean community in Bergen County, they love you. You're like a rock star in that group. Can you explain to us how that became?
Maybe they think of somebody else. I'm not sure. But the best, or one of the best comments that I ever received was someone who was talking about my father. And this person was a true stranger. And this person lost their loved one and came into the funeral home and sat down with my father. My father talked to them and helped them out throughout not only the service and the loss of the person, but the expense and all the other, and everything he did to her. It was a woman. She basically said, after sitting down and being with your father for a few days, just for a few days, you're compelled to love him, because he's just a true, sincere, genuine person that's looking to help, not looking to just make a dollar and leave you, and not look to ever follow up or say hello to you. So I've taken a lot of that into my inner core.
Right.
My core is clean. My inner core is genuine. You get what you get with me. If you don't get it, you're not going to get it. But I can tell you that I connect with the people. And that's the most important thing, to connect with people. The hard thing is getting to the 400,000 people that vote. So it's hard to do. You need resources, you need money, you need media, you need a lot of people working for you to get your message to the people. Obviously today, a little bit easier with social media, but it still takes a lot of time and effort to crisscross this county. You know yourself, you're a candidate.
Yeah, of course.
70 towns, there's only limited time. And we started some months ago, right, Ron? We started
back in February, right? So it's been it's been like 5 months. Yeah.
Now, can you imagine doing it in 40 days? Everything in 40 days.
Right.
And it's supposed to be an election. It wasn't. So in my opinion, this race is the real race. The last race was just a gimme. It was just, someone was going to say, hey, no, we're going to do it this way, and it's going to come our way anyway. And that's what happened.
Right.
It's going to be different. A lot of roadblocks in front of us, a lot of time to go by, but I believe working together for the right of the people, and the people to understand that the right people should be in office, and the right people is not only Bob Kugler, but it's Dr. Ron Lin.
Thank you, Chief. I am very honored by those kind words. All right, just a few questions, and then I'll let you go, because I know you've got a busy schedule. So, Chief, what are the top 3 things you would like to accomplish once you become sheriff?
Top 3 things. Okay. Yeah. I said it before, right? Transform. And I don't want to sound like the Bergen County Sheriff's Office and all the employees, and because they're beautiful young men and women that professionally work for the safety and security of each and every citizen of Bergen County. But we're going to improve or at least highlight that any interaction that a sheriff's officer has with any member of the general public while on duty and off duty as well, because it reverberates. If that inner soul, inner clear core is very genuine and sincere, you're going to treat everybody with respect. So we're going to transform the agency to a community oriented agency that everybody's going to connect with each and every person. Two, we're going to make sure that we network with all the various municipalities, their police agencies, and especially with the drug and violence prevention program lead. A lot of towns have it in Bergen County, but some don't. And we want to go in there and say, hey, how can we do this together? How can we help you implement a program like LEAD in your school? And three, very clear, and that's going to be being proactive with all our organization support partners, and that is, the rehabilitation clinics, our federal, state, local resources, whether it be from law enforcement or support groups, just networking together with each and every person, each and every organization to make sure that the citizens are served, because they deserve to have the best service. And I know, as the incoming Bergen County Sheriff, I'm not only going to be a sheriff for the sheriff's office, I'm going to be a sheriff for the 1 million people here in Bergen County. And again, I just don't want to get their vote. I want them to look me and say, he deserves my vote. He earned my vote. I'm going to vote for him. So I hope to God that could happen.
Okay, great. And one last question, and it's actually the most important question. So, Chief, you've been a officer for 35 years, right? And we all know that police officers like to eat a lot of donuts, right? So how do you stay so thin?
At my belly here, up. But my whole life, as a matter of fact, it must be my metabolism.
Right. No, I mean that was just a joke. But a serious question. Well, not a serious question, but like, what is your favorite food though?
Actually, I like salad right now.
Oh, you like salad? Okay, so that's how you stay thin. Okay.
Smoothies, fruits and vegetables. Yes, there's some meat products, some steaks in here and there, but in moderation. Those red meats and those things that are not good for you. But a lot of fish, a lot of chicken, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and smoothies in the morning.
Perfect. All right, Chief. I know a lot of people are looking forward to maybe meeting you in person in like the coming months. Do you have any events or anything planned?
Well, we're just talking to some colleague friends of mine, some support groups and background consultants, and it looks like we're going to be setting up Coogler for Sheriff fundraiser coming at the end of August. The last Tuesday in August, August 31st, is a tentative date.
Okay.
Little maybe 150 or so amount of people. If it goes out on broadcast on your network here, Ronnie,
all right, perfect.
Exceed the maximum occupancy. I hope that does happen. But people, please follow me on Kugler for Sheriff on Facebook. Look at my website, and please send me a message. Challenge me. Ask me what I'm going to do. And I think that when people evaluate their choice, and right now I look at it as a 50-50 choice. People go in there to vote for Bergen County Sheriff. They got two choices. They got Chief Robert Kugler or the other person. And I hope that before they go into that booth, that they make the evaluation and say, this Kugler guy deserves our vote. He's been in law enforcement a long time. He still wants to be here. He's been a great leader, and he's a great person. And most importantly, he cares about each and every one of the people in Bergen County.
Right. All right. Thank you, Chief. Like I said, you've been the chief for over 25 years. You've been on the force for over 35 years. Your academic, your professional, resume is stellar and second to none. So I think when people just look at that by itself, they'd be hard pressed to choose for, anybody else. I mean, you are really the most qualified individual for this position in a long time, right? Or perhaps in ever, right? I mean, you are so qualified that you should probably be chief of the U.S. police force if there was one, right? But there isn't one. So I mean, you're running for a sheriff. So I think if anyone if you just go to your website and check out your credentials, your experience, right, during the past 35 years, the level of commitment you've put towards the good people of this state, I mean, the choice is really, really clear, right? If you want to learn more about Chief Kugler, please go to his website, kugler4sheriff.com, right? I know you have a big presence on Facebook, right? For those that want to search for you on Facebook, they could just type in your name, right? Robert Kugler, right? And your accounts will come up and they can add you, friend you. You're accessible to everyone, right? You respond to messages, to emails, to phone calls, to everything, right? So, I mean, you really are trying to be the sheriff for the people. And I think that's what we need right now in Bergen County. So, Chief Kugler, I want to thank you for coming on today. I know it's Sunday night. You've got a lot of better things or more important things that you could be doing. But I want to thank you for, taking this time out to, come on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ron. It's been a privilege to be here. And good luck to you as well, County Commissioner Dr. Ronald Lin, and all our Republican colleagues and team.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Chief. Have a great night, and I'll be seeing you very, very soon. Okay. All right, great. So, guys, that was my exclusive interview with Chief Robert Kugler. He is, of course, right now the 2021 GOP nominee for Bergen County Sheriff. He ran for sheriff 3 years ago as an independent. With only 40 days to go in that campaign, he was able to garner, I believe he said, like 14,000 votes. So 14,000 votes in 40 days. Just imagine how many votes he can get this time with a full cycle going on, right? So, like I said, and I'm not just plugging him because, we're on the same ticket. I'm plugging him from an objective point of view, right? He has served as chief for 25 years. He's been on the force for over 35 years. He's the longest serving police chief in Bergen County history, right? His middle name is Serve, right? I mean, he's been serving the people and the public for as long as he can remember, right? So I think if anyone deserves to be sheriff, if anyone deserves that mantle and that opportunity to take on that responsibility, it is Chief Kugler. He's a very personable guy. He's charismatic. He has the ability to connect with every single group. And like I said, the issue of law enforcement should not be a partisan issue. It should be nonpartisan, right? The safety and the well-being of our citizens should be a universal thing, right? We should all want to be safe. And what the left today is doing to law enforcement is just shameful, right? These people deserve our thanks and our respect, right? Like I said too, right? There are some bad apples, but those bad apples don't define the entire, force, right? For every bad apple, like I said, there's 1,000 of super great apples who risk their lives and their necks literally for us every single day. All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. If you want to find out and check out my campaign, you can always check out ronaldjosephLin.com, ronaldjosephLin.com. If you want to contact us, you can do so by going to, realtalkwithronnie@gmail.com. You can send us an email with your thoughts if you think you'd like to be a guest, right? If you have a special story that you want to share, please drop us a line at realtalkwithronnie@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you on. We are live from our official Facebook page every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Okay, every Sunday night at 8 p.m. And you can, of course, visit us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/realtalkwithronnie. Okay. And just once again, if you want to check out my campaign page, it's ronaldjosephLin.com. We're currently in the summer months. The summer months for a campaign are usually, sleepy, right? But I know that for me and for Chief Kugler, for the rest of our ticket, and for our candidate for governor, Jack Chitterelli, and all of us, we plan on, hitting the floor and the ground hard all throughout summer, because that's what it takes to win, right? We can't be complacent, because the future of our lives and of our children's lives are on the line. The things that the liberals and the socialists want to implement in this county, in this state, in this country is just simply mind-numbing, right? It's horrible, and we need to stop them. And the only way we stop them is to get our word out, right? To get the message out, to convince the good people of this state, of this county, of this country, that, there is another way out, right? For all the Democrats out there, the Democratic voters, right? The Democratic Party of today is not the party that you grew up knowing, that you grew up, knowing, right? The Democratic Party of today has moved so far to the left that people like JFK can't even recognize it. It's not really a Democratic Party right now. It's more of like a socialist, slash like, communist party. The things they want to do to our country, to our free speech, is just, is so atrocious. There is no more free speech. We're in the midst of cancel culture. We're in the midst of, history getting, taken out of our history books, right? Statues taken down. This is not democracy, folks. This is not democracy. And that Democratic Party that the voters, that you voters out there, used to vote on, they're not the same party. So come on over. In this party, we still practice free thought and free speech and independent thinking, right? So there is still hope. So I want to thank you guys. We have a big week ahead. I know that I'll probably be having another meet and greet at some point during the summer. When I do, I'll post it on my page. I'll post it on my website, and I'll keep you guys posted. So I hope to see you guys soon, and have a great week, guys. So God bless, good luck, and I love you all. Okay, bye-bye.